white Randy Moss.
Yeah.
You know about the white Randy Moss?
I don't know about the white Randy Moss. Talk to
If
me
you
about the
saw
white
his
Randy Moss.
look it up on your phone right now. You'd recognize my face. Like, he worked for NFL Network, and he's like a horse racing sharp. But yeah, I heard him on a podcast earlier this week, and he said, like, even though it's only like 3-1 or 4-1, journalism is still a good bet. So
Crazy. Unbelievable. Good for journalism, though, and finishing second at least. Like, still an unbelievable race. Yeah, I see here. Wow, white Randy Moss. Yeah.
you recognize him by face?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
He's like
Absolutely.
he's an NFL. I think he was like the not the.
The Vikings. You're on it. No. You were on it. Yeah.
He is like the Vikings beat writer, and Randy Moss played for the Vikings, so it's really wild.
Yeah. That's
the black
incredible.
Randy Moss, of course.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. Well, anyway, welcome to the row 26. Another week. Here we are. We're on the pod. Hotz Heads, Sixers, Dreamers. We're here. Mano is coming on the pod today, so we got Mano Manning that will be on the pod a little bit later. So we're gonna save our Knicks talk and all that slot fest because I know John's waiting for it for us to talk about the Knicks and actually pulling it out.
No, I mean I'll probably just like sit here. I have like the UFC.
I'll just sit here.
I have the UFC up, so I'll probably just watch the UFC fights while you guys talk. No, I mean congratulations. Like I said, you put them at like a 70% chance to win after they lost the first game the Pistons won. Obviously a chippy back and forth series. So congratulations, like you said. We'll wait for Maine to talk about it, but right now we have the Clippers and the Nuggets, and the Nuggets are running away with it. It was a tough series.
Original theory. What was your original theory about Nikola Jokic? Like, this goes back to your original thing. Do you remember what?
I mean, I ended up tailing our boy Eddie when I saw the line movement and everything was favoring the Clippers, and they fired their coach, and it ended up being.
I was on it with Eddie. I was in that boat.
Yeah, no, so basically my futures, or my round one series parlay is about to die, but then again, I'd also need the Rockets to win Game 7 also. Those are the last two legs. But but then again, if somehow the Clippers come back and miraculously win tonight, I find a hedge, betting Game 7 because it's going to be close money line, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, at the end of the day, Denver has all the experience. The Clippers don't play defense consistently, and Kawhi's amazing, but what Jokic does on the court and the impact is a different thing. And I haven't seen the numbers tonight, but if they're killing them, I have to imagine that Jokic is controlling the game. And it's crazy because that Jokic is essentially, they're up by 23. Like, that game's actually in.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Yeah, no, Jokic is 11, 8, and 8. The other guys
controlling the game. Yeah, there you go.
Christian Braun has 14. Aaron Gordon.
He's impressed me. The shooting. I didn't know that.
When Gordon and Braun have 14, early in the second half, that's tough.
I didn't know that Braun could shoot that. I didn't know that. I thought he was more slash and cut and just sometimes like awkward Jaylen Brown type of midi jumpers type of thing when you need them, or weird and ones. But I guess.
Oh, I just realized I don't have my microphone plugged in. Hang on.
You're good. I still hear you though, but
I know, but I'll just grab it anyway real quick.
Keep talking about Braun though, but last 2 games in a row, 2 of 4 from 3. That's efficient. I mean, if you're gonna shoot him with that kind of efficiency. So good for him. I guess they're gonna be moving on. Who would they end up playing? Let's check the bracket here. I'm just, this Clippers team and this Nuggets team, they both bother me in a different way, and that's why they're both not gonna win the championship this year. It doesn't matter how far they go on the West or whatever. I don't think that either team is going to get through Minnesota or OKC. It looks like they're going to play the winner. The winner of this series plays OKC. Like, that's going to be a wipe. Like, I really believe that Denver or the Clippers are going to get shit on by the Thunder.
Obviously the Nuggets, once they fired Mike Malone, were kind of in like punch mode. I think winning this series, I think that's the reason why the odds got to where they were in this series. Obviously the Nuggets won the championship 2 years ago. They're a good team. They have the best player in the world. And it's hard to beat a team like that in a 7-game series. That being said, we're getting into the realm of next series is going to be against a very, very, very scary Thunder team who maybe last year you could say didn't have the experience, but then last year obviously gained valuable playoff experience. The whole year too early thing was last year. This seems to be the year that they should make their run. Obviously, they'll be around for a while, but it's a scary team.
The Clippers are just beating up on each other, man, and these guys have just been chilling 4-0, bro. They've been chilling for a week.
That just goes into that rust versus rest debate, a tale as old as time. Are you always on team rest?
Always. So it's been a long season. It's been a long season for these guys, and I feel like also like they're used to playing different type of minutes because the roster is like they go like 9-10 deep. So it's not like these guys are so used to playing 40 minutes a night anyway, necessarily. Like maybe unless you're shy, or like maybe I don't even think Hartenstein logs 40 minutes a night. Like I don't even know if any of those guys log 40. I would be curious to see. Let me
definitely not in the first round when they're winning games by like 50 points.
That's what I'm saying. Like so, it's like they're so used to just like sitting around and then having to get going in a sense. Like it just feels like they have the right mentality. And that Dagnall or whatever the fuck that coach's name, he seems to his personality, like that's something. Like I don't know where that guy came from. That's something. Yeah. For sure. I
do think there's a difference between nights off or days off versus minutes off, though. You know what I mean? When you're sitting like a whole week before you play again, I do think that leaves you vulnerable to just getting a little bit out of sync, where other teams can jump on you early and steal a game on the road in a game one, stuff like that. Which obviously the Nuggets, if they prevail tonight, will have to do. They're going to have to win one of those first two games in OKC to win the series. And I just think it is also dependent on the team, to be fair to what you're saying. Like, they're young guys. Like, they want to get out there. They're hungry. It is. I don't think there is a basically answer that applies to every series. You know, what's better, West versus West.
I'm looking at their most recent game. That was the game they won by 2, the elimination game. And two of their guys, Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams, have 38 and 37 minutes. The next closest is Holmgren with 29, and then Dort 28, and then Hartenstein 25, Caruso 25, Wallace 21, Wiggins 14, Joe 14. It's crazy, bro. Like, they're a sick team. They're sick. Like, and when you talk about no one having 40 minutes in that game, that's unbelievable. And they still figure out a way to win in a game where you know the other team's playing life or death, essentially. Like, I know Ja got hurt, so, you know, I take it with a grain of salt. But even the game before that was 114-108. Wasn't a walk. You know, mainly the first two games were the main blowouts. But I agree with you to the point that, like it's not the same comparison when you're sitting on the bench and not playing versus like days off. I do agree with that. Obviously, I think that's absolutely a different impact. But I just think this team is I guess what I'm more speaking to without even saying it correctly is that this team is built for whatever it feels like. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter what's going on. Like, days off, minutes off. Team, like, if I'm playing 20 minutes, if I'm playing 10 minutes tonight, if I'm playing 5 minutes, if we have 6 days off, if we have 3 days off, if we have a night off, it don't matter. Line up and we're gonna beat you. We're better. We're the better team. And that feels like almost.
No, I hear you. I think that that maybe they're just evolved. I just know in terms of like even with baseball recently, the switch where a team gets a bye in baseball. Like, they've been talking a lot about how, like, the Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers that year, you know, like the Padres beat the Mets. Like, is it advantageous to have that, like, continue playing and then get a series versus sit? Like, and obviously it's about what team, it's what matchups. It's dependent on the situation where all these young guys getting rest, it's almost like they are probably the team that needs rest the least for the entire NBA because they're all like under 25 years old. Besides,
all these guys are super young playing 20 minutes, and you got guys like Kawhi like lugging these 40-minute games like on bad knees.
I mean, the Lakers, their starters played the entire second half the other night. You know, LeBron's 40 years old. Luka Doncic is how do you say? God, I can't find the word right now. Infamously out of shape. You know, like
Yeah.
you have these guys
He doesn't
who
play
are
defense. The guy plays one way. I feel like this whole Nico Harrison thing, by the way, we should talk about that for like 5 seconds. Like, bad rap, but like if AD was healthy and Kyrie was healthy, that Dallas team in this West right now, it's ugly out here. Like,
yeah, and if my uncle had a vagina, she'd be my aunt.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You know, like AD's
injury is par for the course, though, is what you're saying. I got you.
You traded for an injury-prone guy, and he got hurt.
Traded for a guy on crutches. Yes.
Yeah, and then not for nothing, they had Kyrie last year with Luka, and they went to the finals. So I'm not letting Nico Harrison take a victory lap off of the Lakers losing to a very good Timberwolves team. Another team that's super young and tough and talented. And the Lakers, you know, as much as JJ Redick is obviously a basketball mind, and I do think an improvement at coach from Darvin Ham, he's still a first-year rookie head coach, and he's going to make mistakes. And I do think running those guys to the ground in the second half, playing every single minute, was a mistake. That being said, the roster construction has them a bit hamstringed. I don't think they have a single 7-footer.
John, the Mark Williams trade falling through just fucked that roster. They thought that was a done deal. They fucked themselves, basically. They had no big man throughout the playoffs. Jackson Hayes is unreliable. Like, they really had no fun.
I don't think they have a single 7-footer on the team, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think they have a guy over 6'10".
Yeah, so they – and now going into –
the team is ugly, but you talked about – wait. I just want to say about coaching. Finch on the other side for Minnesota. That guy's
he's a great coach. He's a great coach.
That's a great coach. So, you know,
we talked about him last year when he was on his little fucking crutches or whatever, his little scooter.
He understands. You could tell he sees it. And Ant is the man. And you could see his fucking DNA is all over this team. Pause. Like, you know. Like straight up, like him and Jules are connecting, and it seems like even Gobert is playing his best basketball. Like,
I was just about to mention, we have to shout out Gobert. That last game was a masterclass. I mean, one of the best games played by a center I can remember. I think he had like 27 points and 20-something rebounds.
Yeah,
and on top of that, defensively,
like that's stupid. Like,
and not just the blocks, because obviously those are the tangible things, but the matter of like when LeBron or Luka drove to the basket, he was always there. He was always making.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. It's crazy to say it, but like we're there. We've arrived at the point that like
he's the only 4-time defensive player of the year. Yeah. Excuse me. He's the only 4-time defensive player of the year. No all in there. My bad.
But no, absolutely. Like I think that he's a piece, and like this team is. Yeah, obviously there's something missing, and I think we can all see it. They're not a perfect roster, but it's a cool roster. I think that they can definitely win and get out of the West. To beat teams like Boston, that would be tough. I think besides Boston and Cleveland, they would win the championship or have a really good chance and go in as the favorite against any other team in the East. Let's say Indiana or the Knicks were to make it. I think Minnesota would be the favorite over those two teams, but I don't know. I mean, I think that Minnesota's right there. That they were close last year, and I think they feel that. And I think Julius feels that, and he's been playing good basketball. Conley, they have experience on that team too. I don't know. Something's missing. Scottie Pippen Jr.'s, the guy was lighting them up, dude. He was lighting them up, and who's that? When Ja got hurt, and that kind of shit makes me worry that if you find another point guard in the playoffs that you go up against and it really can light you up, if you're letting Scottie Pippen Jr. light you up like that, bro was going crazy against them and kept them. That's why those games were close, the Grizzly games. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the Grizzly games
on that Timberwolves roster.
The Grizzly games weren't completely close. I mean, the two games that
two of them were not.
Yeah. And then obviously also, the game they were up 30 and came back and the Thunder came back and won. That's also almost like worse than losing by 30.
Yeah,
if you're up by 30 at halftime and lose. That being said, I mean, it sucks that this last game of the the Clippers and Nuggets series is going to be a blowout, or they're up 25 right now, the Nuggets, because this was the series of the first round that really saw back and forth, haymakers being thrown. Obviously, the Aaron Gordon Hail Mary dunk on the Jokic miss was insane.
Yeah.
I don't even understand how that works, how a dunk can have no time left on the clock, because if the dunk gets through, theoretically the clock should stop. And if he got the dunk off in time, how is there no time left on the clock? It's
maybe I guess there should be 0.1.
Yeah, I mean, they might have determined that it was.
I'm not like. I mean,
I'm not even saying like it's a conspiracy. I'm just saying like mathematically.
Mathematically, yes, you're correct. Optically, the whole thing was just weird, and it looked like when they slowed it down that he released the ball. I guess that's the point, and the whole thing is stupid. To me, it's basketball, and he scored, and that's the way I look at it, and the game is over.
And I'm also not a rules expert.
It's like,
it might be like the clock stops when the ball hits the ground or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, there might be something I'm not going to read the rule book to find out for sure, but it's just in my head. I was like, it doesn't make sense that like if he got the dunk off, then there should be time left on the clock, because
theoretically,
like if the dunk was clean, then it went through the basket before the time expired. So technically they should have a chance to throw a tip or something like that. But then again, like I said, it might be the clock stops when the ball hits the ground or something like that. I don't know.
Do you think that on like a separate point, do you think that any of the teams in the East can make the finals besides Boston? Like, do you actually think the Knicks, Indiana, or Cleveland have a legitimate shot against?
Oh yeah, I think the Cavs are getting such disrespect throughout this entire season. Virtually, they've been in first place wire to wire. They started the season something like 14-0 or 15-1 or something crazy. They've never really even been in much of a jeopardy from getting caught by the Boston Celtics or anyone else for that matter, and have everyone expected them to slow down, and they just dominated all season. Had one of the biggest one-sided victories in the history of the NBA playoffs in a series. I mean, they won the last two games by a combined 92 points. They won by 38, and Tyler Hero was talking like, we're not going to go out by like that. And then they lost by 55 the next game.
Garland didn't even play in those two games. They were both talking shit. Hero played, Garland didn't, and they still lost by like 100.
I mean, to say like we're not going to go out like that if you're losing by 37 and then lose by 55, or it's just crazy to think about.
It's also crazy to talk shit and not play. Like Garland's soft for that too. The whole thing was just a soft escapade. Like it's.
I mean, I'm sure it wasn't. He probably wanted to play, and the coaches were like, "Why play? Like we're going to win by a million points either way."
Yeah.
So if he were to play, it would just be to like appease his own ego. Like it wouldn't be for the team.
That was a Spoelstra firing game. Like that's the moment right there. That felt like the moment. Like not like literally fired or like he just like resigns and like because he's had such a long history there, so much success. But the way they went out there, it just felt like obviously everything was just unorganized and it was just a fucking meltdown. So
it's more of a roster construction issue than me with coaching, because even with that team,
he's a great coach. We know that, yeah, of course.
To even make the playoffs, make the play-in, win the play-ins from the 10 seed, to get to that game, to have to win two games.
The Jimmy distraction all fucking year, like that's crazy.
No, I think Spoelstra, that's like the one guy you can't
touch
put a lot of blame on. I mean, if you fire him, who are you getting?
Maybe Popovich. Apparently, he's available now.
He's done. Shout out to Pop. I mean, 5 championships, 29 years. A champion that comes out to a championship at one every 6 years. I don't think there's a fan base in the world who would turn that down. So obviously,
not really a big market either, bro. Like it's kind of small niche kind of fan base in a sense.
Yes, in a sense, because they don't have like any other sports teams there of the big four, but San Antonio, I think, is like top 10 in population in the country.
Wow.
In terms of cities, if I'm not mistaken.
That would be a crazy pull if you would just like that off rip, but it sounds right.
I mean, I'd bet on it. I feel pretty confident about it. I think Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston are all top 10 cities in the country by population.
Probably. Yeah. And shouts out to the Pop. Yeah. The gold medalist as well, working with USA. He's always been a part of that world as well. Bro is a legend. And obviously just in terms of always giving us quotables from the media and just being fucking hilarious the way he always dealt with the media and all that shit. And
yeah, I mean, and obviously a
legend.
winner, but hired Becky Hammond, like as the
Progressive as
first
fuck.
female assistant coach, had her coach the summer league team as the head coach. Always kind of been on the like I don't want to say right or wrong side, but definitely on the progressive side, which I think socially for the most part he's been ahead of his time, especially
for my purview. He's been ethically on the right side more times than not. I'll say that.
Yeah, I agree, and just in a sense of especially for an old white man, you know what I mean? Like he's a very old.
Has awareness is the word. Yes.
Yeah, no, for sure, and never was controversial. Never had any bullshit DUIs. Lost his wife, coaching, and stuck around, and didn't. Obviously paid homage and,
not a lot of drama in general, bro, or any of his players either. If you think about even his teams, tight ship, didn't feel like any of his guys really, you could think about, maybe Kawhi's.
That's what I was going to say. The only thing was the Kawhi thing, but I feel like that was probably more front office than it was Popovich, in terms of getting pressure to play and he got his own doctor and the doctor said, you shouldn't play. I remember that whole thing. But
also the bullying of
Tony Parker. I don't think
Popovich
is really dealing with that, where he's you got to play. I think he's more of you playing? Okay, you're not, whatever.
The other side was the bullying of Tony Parker. That's the other one that people talk about. Because, from early
Tony Parker slept with Brett Barry's wife.
I remember that, but I don't remember that. I forgot about that. Yeah.
While he was with Ava Longoria. So I don't know. I think if anyone's a bully.
Yeah, no, Tony Parker's a scumbag, not a bully.
Yeah.
That's a scumbag right there. But
so I don't have any sympathy for Tony Parker getting bullied.
Barry, shouts to Brent Barry, hell of a shooter, man. Sonics those days, bro, chucking them. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Shout out to the Barry family. John Barry, low key, was a nice
Rick
little
Barry,
guard,
legend. Yeah.
And then obviously Rick
That's how
Barry.
Mitchell Robinson should shoot his free throws, like Rick Barry.
Maybe. Yeah, underhand free throw king. Yeah, Rick Barry was a stud. I'm trying to think how we're working this episode right now because I don't know. Should we just go through the playoffs?
That would have been right there, right at that point. If Jermaine was on right there, I would have been talking about Mitchell Robinson, and then boom, we would have been talking about the hack of Mitch, and we're in there. But anyway, yeah, no, in my head, I really do think that the Indiana Pacers have a chance. I just wanted to say that before when you were talking about Cleveland. I do like Cleveland's team, but Tyrese really showed me a lot in that series against Milwaukee. He was not afraid to go against Giannis at all. And he has a lot of confidence, and he seems to bring those guys with him. That team is annoying as fuck, as we saw last year, that Indiana team. And I don't know if they have all the star power enough to get by Cleveland all the way, but they're going to push that team. It could be a 7-game series. That would not shock me at all.
What do you think about Halliburton's dad kind of getting in Giannis's face? I heard he's now banned from the playoff.
I didn't see it. Yeah.
I heard he's now banned from the playoffs. I heard he's now banned from the rest of the playoffs.
I heard Tyrese was part of that decision, though, is what I read. That he was
well, that's the weird thing to me. It's obviously I'm family oriented, fucking Italian. My dad could have punched Giannis in the fucking face, and I'd be like, yeah, my dad, he fucking Giannis said something wrong, I would never.
Like a smart idea, bro.
I would never.
Humongous. Holy shit.
I don't think the odds on me condemning my father for his actions is fucking minus 10,000. He would have to do something insane for me to be like, my dad was in the wrong. And I get it. Halliburton's in a different place than me in life, whatever. He's super successful, multi-millionaire, all-star, this and that. Maybe he is the authoritative figure in his family because of his success. But I'm not calling out my dad publicly for anything under any circumstances besides, murder, besides unspeakable atrocities.
Bro, if he punches Giannis in the face and were to have knocked Giannis out, and Giannis is slump right there in the stand, just laying there like that.
Yeah.
You don't think that's a problem?
I would be like, Giannis, shouldn't have said what he said to my dad, he didn't know who he was fucking with and got laid out. They went face to face, I'd have been like, yo, why is Giannis should just go to the locker room? He's eliminated. Go home. Move on. Like
Yeah.
I like get like when it comes to family. Like I said, this isn't his agent. This isn't his fucking friend. This isn't his, advisor. This is his fucking father. And now his father is banned from playoff games.
Yeah, I think Giannis was over emotional, and he's very upset about the whole situation in Milwaukee. And now Dame is going to be out probably next year. It's all over. So, he's probably just spiraling, I feel like. And now, and then Tyrese's dad got roped into it, and here we are, and it's a bunch of nothing. I feel like it definitely is like I didn't see the highlights, so it sounds like a nothing burger for the record, but like I just feel like I don't know, Tyrese's dad being a distraction for that team at this point. I'm sure that he'll come back next season, or maybe if they make the finals, they'll allow him back and they'll make a hoopla of it or some shit. But like,
there's two schools.
His dad can come back because they made the NBA finals and he sits in a box or something. Like, I don't know.
There's two schools of thought, and it's like either, Tyrese, what a classy guy, like condemning his own father, being supportive of the league superstars, Giannis, blah, blah, blah. He's a good character, this and that. The other school of thought is like, you sold out your fucking dad, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, your dad, who probably fucking worked 2 jobs to make sure you could play AAU and travel and fucking do what you need to do to get to the league. Like, you don't get to the league without your fucking
sell him
dad.
out. He didn't sell out his dad. The owner probably came and was like, yo, you trying to win a championship?
No.
Shut the fuck up.
Halliburton said.
My dad to shut the fuck up.
No. Halliburton said publicly in the press conference, like, my dad was wrong. Like, he shouldn't have done that.
Big sellout.
Like, yeah, he sold out his dad. And like I said,
he has 2 voices, so it makes sense. Tyrese.
Yeah. All I'm saying is he saw the fucking press clippings about he was voted the most overrated players by his peer, probably because he's generally unlikable. And, and now, like, maybe if I fucking, tell Giannis he was in the right, maybe they'll like me more. I don't know, dude. I don't like the move. I'll say it. I'm standing on my take that that's a fucking bitch move to like be like, oh, my dad was wrong.
Where do you think Giannis is going to end up? What do you think is going to happen with this?
I mean, I don't know his contract details, but I thought he re-signed. Like, I feel like the time to leave came and went already. Yeah, like, I mean...
But he's going to force a trade. He's going to force a trade.
Now I think it has to be a trade, and I guess if you are going to force a trade, the NBA is the league to do it in. Like, that's the space where the players have the most leverage and the most power is the NBA.
He's out until 28.
Yeah, so that being said,
yeah, he has a player option in 27 actually.
So I guess maybe he could leave in a couple of years.
I'm sure it'll be their pleasure to get rid of him if they're not winning.
I don't think it'll be their pleasure. I mean, the Bucks have won 1 championship, and he's been the cornerstone. Like, well, Milwaukee isn't necessarily destination for free agents. It's a cold, kind of shitty
Wisconsin
city with a lot of let's just say robust women. It's not like you're gonna find a ton of dime pieces. I don't know. I think Giannis might be engaged or married or whatever, but
he is married with kids. They were walking around Brooklyn. I saw a couple days ago. Like, people think that he's trying to go to the Nets or the Knicks.
Well, I remember when they were just like boyfriend and girlfriend. Maybe this was a different girl, to be fair. So
no. I think it's the same woman. I think it's like his.
She gave him like the Target button, like easy button, but it was like for blowjobs for his birthday one year.
Something like that. Yeah, they have kids now. They have like 3 kids.
He fucking was like, this is my button I got from my girl. It's a blowjob button. Like, you just press it, it's a blowjob. Crazy. But no, I don't know. I don't know.
I see him in a Knicks uniform. I'd probably do that. It's just, what's the trade? Like, I saw some people talking about that. Like, if that was, first of all, that you talk about a ship coming and going. Like, the picks for Bridges and then Randall, like, that would have been what you mark up for Giannis if you were really trying to deal with Milwaukee there. But it seems like with the team that they have now is they kind of have to build from what they have right now, because it's just, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this whole Knicks team before Jermaine hops on here? It seems like he's going to hop on soon. So,
okay. I mean, well, I think that
just the roster construction and what we're
Giannis to the Knicks to me doesn't make sense, because I think Jalen Brunson has to be the guy. And if Giannis comes, he's not the guy. And Jalen Brunson, let's just say on Dallas with Luka, is not Jalen Brunson on the Knicks now. So I don't think that Jalen Brunson, not that he, and this isn't a slight against Brunson, I think it's a credit to Brunson that, like, he is in his element as the fucking guy, the pillar. I think that if you make him number 2, you are slashing him more than you're gaining from whoever the number 1 is, even if it is a Giannis. Like, because you see Dame Lillard as the 2 for Giannis, like, to fall apart. And this goes all the way back to Villanova. He struggled when Arch DiGiacomo was the starting point guard. And he graduates and Jalen Brunson steps in. And now he's all of a sudden is like, okay, this is Jalen Brunson. This is our guy. He's the leader. They get that other national championship with him. I think that Jalen Brunson strategically went to the Knicks knowing that he could be the number 1 guy. And there's very few guys that would put him as the number 2 in the current NBA landscape. And Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of them. So I don't love that fit.
I like what you're saying. I also think that what you said is correct. And just to comment on Brunson's style of basketball for the record, and we can bring in my boy Jermaine here as we're talking about. Welcome. Let's go, baby.
My nephew loves that. Go New York, go New York, go.
Hell yeah.
Come on, man.
Welcome. But anyway, like, you know what I was saying about Brunson? Brunson plays, he's the best at bad basketball. That's my take.
You can call it bad basketball.
No. In terms of the last 7 minutes of the game, you really don't want one guy being the guy. Like, obviously we want a guy to be the guy the last 3 or 4 possessions in a game. But to do that for the last 7 minutes, some of those things that he does underneath that hoop where he almost fell down and then forces that layup and it goes in, it's just like that whole play was nuts. Like, all these plays that he makes are incredible. I'm not taking anything away from the guy because he's the best at doing that, like John just said. Mm-hmm. But my problem is that at the end of the day, that style of basketball will catch up to you. So that's why I say he's the best at that bad basketball. It's not quintessential moving the ball and like traditional basketball for 7 minutes of the fourth quarter a lot of times.
I can understand.
Just to bring in Jermaine, just like exactly where we're at. So Zach was asking me about Giannis going to New York, and my take was that, and you heard that. So my take being that, like, Jalen Brunson needs to be the number 1. Like,
I agree with that.
Okay. So you go ahead. I wasn't sure you heard like where we were coming from. So go ahead.
No, I mean, I agree with that. I think Brunson is a ball dominant player. There's a weird part of me that feels like Giannis could be really, really, really good off ball as well, because he's not really like the ball dominant guy. It's kind of like, like, I feel like he could affect the games other ways, but in the same breath, I feel like actually a little shot at Brunson. He's not the pass first point guard.
Yeah,
his assists did go up, but I feel like that's just from the Knicks putting better talent around him. We brought in Mikal Bridges. We brought in OG, who's a great corner shooter. Mikal's a great corner shooter too. So when you become that point guard that's going to just drive hard, and he's a mid-range guy, so he gives the defense that moment to try to help. So when he sees that help, as a good basketball player, you're just going to kick it to the wing. And then when you got 2 guys that can shoot high 30% from the corner, your assists are naturally going to go up 2-3 a game. I don't really think that's like. I think that's just him playing the right basketball more than it is looking to pass. Does that make sense?
If you have the pod on in the background, I can hear if you have the YouTube link on or something in the background.
Me?
Somebody. I can hear I can hear an echo, just to let you know. But
I don't think that's me. There's music on?
I can hear the
music.
Like
The music is loud.
It's like I'm listening to our pod somewhere else.
No, I got no music.
It might just be your speaker then.
Is it mine? Oh, hold on. Is it that?
I don't know, but I can hear the music.
What?
It's like yes, y'all, and you won't
Yeah,
stop.
Yeah.
Where is that coming from? I know, I hear that. Is that me? Hold on.
That's our music, but from the pod. But it's playing through your speakers.
It might just be him like a second behind. I would just turn it down a little bit on your end, Zach.
Down,
I
is
think
what I'm
it'll be
saying.
fine.
Yeah. That's what
Hold
I'm
on.
saying.
No, Zach, on your end, turn it down a little. I think it'll be
It's
fine.
down. It's down low. That's what I'm saying. It's at like 12. Like usually ours is at like 25 Hotz, and we don't even. That's like background for us.
All right, right here is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're good now.
All right.
Yeah. That's good.
Man, good.
Yeah. But let's jump back in. I want to talk about the Knicks still. I'm still, again, like I'm not shitting on them. I don't think anybody here is shitting on their style of basketball. I think you're right in terms of like what a lot of these guys on the team bring to the table versus a guy like what Giannis would bring to the table. And I do think that it would change the style of the team. I actually think that these guys are starting to gel. It's crazy to say, but they're starting to get there. And Towns freaks me out because obviously there are times where we need him to be the physical, go get your bucket, get on down on the block and get offensive rebounds and be gritty. And he shies away from that sometimes, or he does it in a style that is very fouls and just sloppy and kind of sanguine from Houston style and just kind of all over the place a little bit down below instead of like, kind of using his body the right way. But on offense, some of these shots that Towns made over the last two games are ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous at this point.
It's actually ridiculous,
Yeah, it's actually we're at a point now. These shots that he has taken, that baseline jumper that he has hit now twice when you need it, and then some of these threes, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That three was actually stupid. I literally was like,
Yeah.
why? Oh my
Yeah.
god! Like, I literally went, why? Oh my god!
Yeah, it's like,
Crazy.
oh no, oh yes, yeah.
Totally. The
No.
definition of, yeah.
All right, so as Knicks fans, I'm going to make you lock this in right now because there's been a lot of fodder about the trade, everything like that, the Bridges deal, this year's team versus last year's team. Who is the better team? The 2024-2025 Knicks or the 2023-2024 Knicks?
Let me plug my computer.
Are we healthy, or are we just like saying like what teams line up?
Whatever, just in your ideal world, what's the better team?
Ideal world, if I could have the roster this year, and if I was picking one roster or the other, I think I would still lean towards last year's roster.
Yeah, you gotta give it a shot, dude. You give it a shot.
That's crazy to me. That's so crazy to me. I mean,
one thing I will say,
One
thing I will say is, and I'm not taking nothing away from this year's team, we were the best team in basketball when last year's team was healthy. And
it's like a 9-game sample size. So sorry.
It was a month.
It was like 14 and not in 4 or something like that. It was a very small
I'm not
sample
saying I would
size.
take last year's team over this year's team.
They just played in the mud with the Detroit Pistons, John. Like it's just like
and they lost to the Indiana Pacers last year.
That's
Like,
series. And those guys hit Hail Marys to beat us.
But the Pacers
Nemhard hit like one from the fucking not Nemhard. What the hell is that?
handled
The dude with the
Milwaukee.
dreads, whatever his name is, hit one
Pacers
from
just
Dallas.
handled
Didn't make that.
Milwaukee.
What's
As
it
much as
called?
I hate them and I hate to give
and
them
we
any,
were just talking about how Milwaukee's a disaster, dumpster fire. Doc Rivers, Giannis didn't try to find his way out. I'm just saying, like all of the fodder about the romanticism of last year's Knicks team, I think is honestly overwhelmingly overrated about how like the potential of this team. Everyone talks about them like if they were healthy, they would have won a championship. And it's like they lost to the Pacers, who are early to making a conference final by anyone's admission.
have our second guy at all. If Julius Randle's there, you can't. They don't. This is my.
All right, you talk about the sample size of earlier in the year when they're the best team in the NBA. What about the sample size of when Julius Randle was in the playoffs with Jalen Brunson and they got fucking killed and he played like shit?
Understandable, but in the same breath, the whole reason that the Pacers won that series is because they were throwing triple teams at Jalen Brunson. You can't do that if Julius Randle's on the court.
And you can't do that with Karl Anthony Towns.
And they're not. Jalen Brunson's not.
That's my point. They have Karl Anthony Towns this year, and
But he's making his argument to say that that's why he thinks his team this year is better.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying that I would take the team over last year, but I'm just saying I think that last year's team was damn good, and with the situation that
they had John. If they had ran it back, Isaiah Hartenstein clearly has been a huge player for OKC. He's one of their best players. He starts for them, and the other thing.
I mean, you listed the minutes of OKC players earlier, and he was like 7.
But I'm not. Wait. The other part is that Julius's impact on Minnesota that we're watching right now, if that had been on that Knicks team, what we would have seen is what I'm saying, since there is evidence of Julius playing high-level basketball. Look at Minnesota. Look what they're doing right now. He's the second best player on that team, right?
Again, we saw Towns beat the Nuggets last year on the Timberwolves.
As a whole roster, though, with Dante and everybody, you think that
that's what I'm saying. I'm not
Mikhail's played what? His best game just recently. We all agree that was Mikhail's best game by far.
He's been up and
before
down.
that, he's been very pedestrian.
Dude, I'm not trying to say like it's some sort of blowout by a million, but I think it's hard to sit here and I know as a fan, when you lose and people are hurt, it's easy to be like, oh, if we were healthy, we would have done this. I just think if you're looking at it logically, roster construction in terms of how you play defense, I think last year's Knicks team would have had a harder time with this year's Pistons team. Defensively,
I don't think so. We played better.
All right, so he's not off.
We were like 10
because they would have had to put OG. They would have had to put OG on Cade still, right? That would have been same matchup, so that doesn't change. But where it changes is where you think about guys like Beasley, and you think about guys like Tobias Harris, and you think about guys like Tim Hardaway Jr. When all three of those guys are on the court together, it's weird where you're going to line up Brunson, Dante, who's actually an undersized guard. Even though he's good on the perimeter, he's still undersized. He's smaller than Mikhail. And
he's undersized and he's under
Julius moving on the screen versus Towns. I don't know. I mean, Julius is underrated.
Compared to Bridges? You think Dante DiVincenzo is a better athlete than Mikal Bridges?
I'm not saying that, but I think Dante can hold his own. I think he shows. Yeah,
but he was the last game even like they were praising him, but he hit one big shot at the end. He was like 2 of 8 in that game. He was throwing.
He didn't play well. He did not
play well in that game. I watched it.
I'll leave it at this. Like I said, I understand. Like
Mikhail's a starter.
As a fan, this isn't my favorite team. This isn't my favorite team, so I'm not coming from the perspective of
that's why we're having a good chat, because this is not like a biased chat.
Romanticizing what could have happened. But to break it down as simply as possible, give me Towns and Bridges over Randall and DiVincenzo.
Okay.
All right.
Riding.
If that's how you
I'm good with that.
Yo,
big shouts to Mitch Robinson. Hack a Mitch. Big shouts to Mitch Robinson. Yeah. He hit a couple free throws. Proud of him. Get in the gym, dude. It's coming. It's going to come again. It's going to happen again.
He's always going to have to do that because teams are going to do that.
That's embarrassing.
All right, so now let's turn the page on the Pistons. Let's move on to the Celtics. Give me both of your keys to victories in this series for the Knicks if they're going to knock off the Celtics.
You want to go first, Zach?
Yeah, if Drew Holiday doesn't play.
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm never going to be that fan to hope somebody doesn't play.
No, I'm not hoping that he doesn't play. He's out, so I'm just hoping it stays that way. And listen,
I already know what it is.
Perfect basketball is required by every single starting player on the Knicks. Yes,
so
yes. No, it's like
your eyes. Your eyes are.
What a key to victory! Play perfect basketball.
Way to look at this, bro.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, obviously.
Mikal Bridges has a 1 of 7 game, we lose. If OG Anunoby has a 1 of 8 game, we lose. If Towns has one of those games where he gets 3 fouls in the first half, we lose.
So I think
any of that bullshit type of shit, we can't afford any of it, is what I'm saying. If we try to go shot, they can beat you any way you want it, how you want it. They'll beat you in the muddy game. They'll beat you in the 3-point game. They'll outshoot you.
Like, at the end of the day, we could say whatever we want. We're from New York. We hate Boston. I get that, but
we got to pull them into the mud. We got to have the series that we just had with Detroit with them. Essentially, that's the way.
So my 2 things
that would be the way
we're going to win this series if we mess around and win. We got to slow down the 3-point shot, 110%. Every single time we played the Celtics this year, they absolutely torched us from the 3-point line. It was absolutely disgusting.
Disgusting.
Tibbs' defensive rotations have been terrible.
Terrible. They don't know how to switch on threes half the time.
I'm not saying I didn't play at the highest level by any means. Any means. I played high school basketball and I played association. I played in a couple, pickup leagues. But at the same time, from playing in my little bit of time in high school, when you have a coach and he says, on this guy, you go under and or whatever the rotation assignment is. Tom Thibodeau, his defensive rotations have been abysmal, if you ask me. Like
Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. think they're the best shooters in the world right now.
That's what I'm saying.
You believe that?
Because they were getting wide open looks. Why? I'm sorry. You shouldn't have been helping. Like, I'm sorry. In my high school, we played against the guy who shot 40% from three.
Yeah.
We literally practiced all week, no help off of one player. Why are you helping off Malik Beasley?
Who are you helping off of in the Boston
why are you helping
series?
off of
So many guys. Pritchard even off the bench shoots them three.
You can't do things like that. And so if we're going to do things like that against the Celtics, they got like 4 or 5 guys that are going to hit. I'm not even going to say it's a if or they're going to.
It's when. Yeah.
Excuse me. Pritchard, he's going to hit. He's 6th man of the year deservingly. Guy had a hell of a season.
Facts.
Porzingis is going to hit. Cat, you got to stay home, dude. They're going to have to figure out. They're going to have to figure out.
That's bad. Cat in the Garden is bad.
This defense is going to be the biggest thing. And then the
Cat in the Garden, he was laughing at us last time they played in the Garden. He was laughing. He loves playing in the Garden right now.
You have to be okay with the twos. You have to be okay with the drives. You have to be okay with fouling and making them hit free throws. You can't let them. You can't let them shoot 53s and hit 20. You'll lose every time.
Keep it gritty. We got to keep it game close because at the end of the day, love it or not, we got to rely on that Brunson burner time.
Yeah.
That's what it comes out. We got to keep the game within 5.
Got to muddy the game up, and then it's got to come down to 5 minutes.
5 to 7.
I'll add in a key for me, and it kind of bids to my whole take about this team versus last year's team. Towns needs to take 15 to 20 shots a game and score and be, and wear them down. And, he needs to be banging with Porzingis, needs to be banging with Al Horford. These guys who I do think are athletically and physically inferior to him at these points in their career. Yeah. And he needs to be the best big man in this series and emphatically prove that, and more importantly, to make me right. So that's the most important thing. That I can be right.
That on the line. I'm happy about that. I want to see Towns and Mitch next to each other in this series for sure. That big body lineup with OG at the 3 to guarding Tatum. I want to see that.
Don't let them run Al Horford at the center without punishing them for being too
if
small.
we run Al Horford at the center, I better see Mitch out there destroying him on every offensive rebound.
So my thing is, the Knicks match up very, very, very well across the board.
Less physical team too, that Detroit team was really physical.
About the Detroit series too, that I thought that was a very good for our team. Mm-hmm. It was a gritty series. Mm-hmm. It was a very physical series.
Schroeder's not a nothing, from the Germany national team. He's a piece of shit, and he's a good player.
It's not a shot against Boston. They're not as physical as that.
Yeah, but they're
so they're a better team.
So good.
They're a better team. I'm not, but physicality, like
Tatum's also playing his best basketball. I would say Tatum's better this year than last year.
These clips where it's like they literally got a guy like pushing Towns, and then the other guy's got like an elbow in it.
I've seen that. Yeah, just crushing him.
Boston's not that team. That's not their like persona. That's not
their MO. Yeah, I agree.
We're better. We're gonna outshoot you. We got ballers all around. Everybody could score 20. They're like a cool, great team. They're not that gritty, great team. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think they're compared to Detroit in terms of that grittiness and physicality.
The Detroit series was good for us.
Yeah, it was good for us for sure.
So that we had to grind it out. Because I don't
Tatum, though, we have to talk about Tatum. This season, Tatum's been playing
real quick. Hang on. You just were saying how rest versus rust, you prefer the rest, and now you're saying that the Knicks playing a longer, grittier series is better for the Knicks. So No, Zach earlier was saying
I'm saying that if they're going to play a style of basketball, that type of a series that they had against Detroit is good prep for this type of a series that they need to have again, which is that.
We were talking about the Thunder. We were talking about the Thunder playing either the Nuggets or the Clippers, and we were talking about rest versus rust. And you're like, yeah, it's always better to have the rest versus
no, if
rust.
it was up to me, I would have.
And then Jermaine was saying, "Oh, this tough first series was good for us," and you were like, "Yeah, this tough first series was good for us."
I think it was.
No, I think it was because it's taught
us.
No,
Jermaine, you're fine. Zach's on the hook. He's got to dig himself out of the hole.
No, I don't think the two correlate. I think that's a mismatch. I don't think
it's situational.
I think those opinions are different opinions.
We should have won Game 5. We didn't come out ready at all.
Yeah. I just think that at the end of the day, the style of basketball that they had to play against Detroit is going to help them against Boston. I don't think that going 7 games with them is good for them in terms of the physicality and the wear and tear on them. I would much prefer a sweep, for the record. Yes. Like, I don't think there's any.
Won in Game 5, but
yeah, just to be clear.
But
I'm excited
real quick.
I think they could do it, but I don't. Again, like Brunson has to go for 40 a couple of times. There's going to have to give games like that. Tatum's playing better than last year. I can't say that enough. From what I've seen from Tatum this year, he's been better and unbelievable.
We can't let them get up 20.
Real quick, I just need Jermaine's take before we move on to the Hotz corner. So obviously, we were talking earlier about Halliburton's dad now being banned from the rest of the playoffs.
Wow.
And my take was that Tyrese is kind of a bitch for fucking selling his dad.
That's always been the case. But
but the fact that he sold his dad out and was like, my dad was wrong for pushing Giannis, like
in the media at the podium, like my dad was wrong. He's not going to come anymore to the playoffs.
The things my dad would have to do for me to publicly admonish him.
I hear you.
Are unspeakable.
I hear you.
And I said that like Tyrese Halliburton's way more successful than me. Maybe he's become the patriarch of his family because he makes tens of millions of dollars, whatever. I'll admit that.
Voices, as we said.
I just want to say it to him privately.
That being said, selling out your dad is fucking bitch, no matter what.
I would just not smoke on it. I'm going to choose to not answer that question.
Yeah, no comment. Yeah. What I told Zach is my dad could have punched Giannis in the face. And I would have said, Giannis probably shouldn't have said what he said to my dad.
Yeah.
You know, I would have
literally asked John. I was like, you're telling me that you would let your dad punch Giannis slump just laying there on top of the
You know, some people, the letters FOE mean something.
I agree with Hotz. The first thing that came out of my mouth, if he
in a million years say anything,
he said something wild.
If anything, I would have told my dad after the game, yo, what the fuck are you doing, you dumbass motherfucker? Now you put me in a bad spot, but I would never publicly say to the media.
That's what I
said. That is the rule right there. Nothing in public. That's right.
Yeah.
To say behind closed doors, it's done.
I wasn't there.
Yeah. In public, everyone's always right.
Yeah.
We all know youth sports is expensive. You know, I don't know Halliburton's whole situation, but I'm sure his dad worked very hard to put him in AAU, travel, do all these things. Like, he's not in the NBA without his dad, and to publicly speak out against your dad is a no-no for me. And like you said, Tyree's always been a bitch. And like I mentioned earlier, he got like voted most overrated player. Maybe this is him trying to like get in good with his peers and being like, see guys, like I care about the league too. Like I care about our stars too. Don't vote me most overrated. Like, you know, I don't know. It's a bitch move. It's a clown move to me.
I mean, he just played number one cheerleader on the USA team. Like, bro is like, whatever. Yeah.
Well, after Tatum.
That's true.
Yeah. Which is wild. But
now Tatum put it on his back, and he's like, all right, you want to say something?
Joe Mazzulla was fucking edging to Tatum not playing in the Olympics, so he had something to fucking motivate him this season. But, all right, let's get into the Hotz corner. We'll start it off. Ready, set, go. Who is your favorite American Idol contestant or winner of all time?
Ruben Studdard.
Hey, that's a fucking good one. Go ahead, Zach.
Kelly Clarkson.
That's a good one, too. All right. Best NFL kick returner in history not named Devin Hester.
Oof. D'Angelo Hall.
Ooh, I like that one. That's solid.
Returner.
Kick returner, returner, just returner, we'll say.
Cordarrelle Patterson.
Okay.
Damn, double Falcons. All right. What setting are you more likely to make a fool of yourself dancing? Wedding or concert?
Wedding. I feel like it's fun to make a fool of yourself.
There you go.
Yeah, I
You
would
gotta
agree.
get twisted and grab
Yeah,
grandma.
I'm gonna say wedding too.
Yeah.
I think
You
wedding.
gotta get twisted and
Okay.
grab somebody's grandma.
Walk-off home run or overtime goal in hockey? More exciting to see live.
Wait, run that back one more time. One more time. please.
Walk-off home run in baseball or overtime goal in hockey?
Ooh.
Sudden death finisher. More exciting to see live.
We're trying to see
Walk-off.
live.
Crazy. It's like ice.
The home run.
I think I might go with the walk off too, because it's like it's so intense.
And it's also
Hockey is like it's like
we'll
this.
explain it. We'll explain it. We'll explain it. We'll explain it.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll get into it.
If you could have free food from any chain restaurant for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Wow. Any chain restaurant?
Free food from any chain restaurant.
I'm biased. I'm kind of required to say one name because I work for one right now.
like
I
any
work for a chain
specific
restaurant.
food on the menu, John, or just like a company.
I'm
Like
gonna
a
do
A
it. Shout
chain restaurant could be fast
Shout out
food,
Bonefish.
could be fast casual, could be sit
Oh.
down. As long
I
as
work
it's
at
a
a
chain.
Bonefish. Shout out Bonefish.
McDonald's, I'd say.
Shout out Bonefish.
All right, Bonefish Grill and McDonald's.
Garbage.
More impressive single season achievement: 50, 40, 90 in the NBA or the Triple Crown in baseball?
Triple Crown. Stupid. Zach Rose?
RBIs, home runs and batting average versus
Yeah, nah.
free
Triple
throws,
Crown.
threes, and 2-point percentage. Man, 50, 40, 90 is unbelievable. Versus
Yeah,
the
but I feel like
Crown.
Andy is just like
different. I would say, ooh, that's a good question, John. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Sometimes we definitely repeat, but with that one, I've never heard on here for sure. That's a great one.
and baseball is just harder. Period.
Yeah, but that's a specific one that's like really not been done a lot. free
Go ahead
throw.
and answer.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the 50, 40, 90.
All right, best war movie of all time.
Saving Private
It's only
Ryan.
one or two. Yeah, I was gonna. I was gonna say that or 300.
That's a
Ooh,
great
that's a good one.
too.
300.
I like both of those. Let's
300.
lock in both of those.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. 5 leg kicks from a professional UFC fighter or 1 jab to the nose from a professional UFC fighter, full strength. Both of them. Like either all 5 kicks are full strength or 1 jab to the nose, full strength.
I don't like my eyes watering, but at the same time, I feel like that would break my leg. If he hits me in my right, my bad knee, it's over for me. But I think I'll
take the jab.
You're getting knocked out.
That's probably true.
And when broken nose. No.
That's all right. That's fine. My nose.
I'll take the leg
I already
kicks.
have a deviated septum.
There's a chance that the leg kicks I can like survive and just be
That's
bruised.
all right.
And be,
I'll take the jab.
and I
All
can
right,
just-
the last one before the trivia. We got fuck, marry, kill.
Here we go.
The brawny paper towel man, the jolly green giant, and Mr. Clean.
Oh, Mr. Clean's my boy. You are?
I'm not answering this. I veto this question.
Brawny towels is last. I never use brawny.
Oh, he's getting murdered. He's killed.
Murdered. Done.
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Clean,
agree with
I'm
that.
marrying.
That's the only part about this I'm answering.
No.
That's it. For the same.
Mr. Clean's getting the pipe. And then
Mr. Clean.
Pause.
You're marrying the jolly green giant? I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Zach, you got to answer, dude. Who cares, bro? It's not, you
Jolly
don't,
piping Mr. Clean as well, and yeah, the Jollies.
I would have married Mr. Clean. I don't know about y'all, but well,
that's good.
and then, all right, we'll get to the trivia and then we'll discuss it. All right, so a couple Yankee fans here. Aaron Judge hitting 430 after today. You know, we're into May now. It's getting, you know, still early, but it's getting somewhat realistic. You know, he could have a shot at 400
on the season. That'd be wild.
So since what's his name? Ted Williams hit 400. There have been 11 players who hit over 365. A couple of them have done it multiple times, but just 11 players have hit 365 over a season. Minimum 400 at bats, minimum 100 games.
Very hard.
You want names?
Yeah, one name. I can give hints, but throw some guesses out there first.
Oh, well, Ichiro's one.
Trout?
Ichiro is one. Trout is not one. Wow. Ichiro hit 372 in 2004.
Pujols?
No.
He's a 340 guy, 330 guy.
Well, I mean, his nickname was the machine.
It's got to be someone wild, like someone that really gets up there. Strict hitter.
Who are these slappers? I feel like the guys that slap it and they just get on base. I'm not a big baseball guy, honestly.
All right, one player did it 4 times.
I don't think
that should be a hint, like a legendary hitter, Hall of Famer.
Roberto Clemente?
No. I could start giving hints early. This is a hard question, but I feel like you guys can get a few of these guys for sure.
Yeah. Hang on. Let's let it marinate for a couple of minutes here. Throw some guesses out here.
R.I.P. The guy who had 4, R.I.P. already.
R.I.P. Damn.
Baseball, I'm like a
Tony Gwynn.
Yes, Tony Gwynn, 4 times. He hit 368, 370, 372, and 394.
Yeah, it's got to give me a minute. I got to go through the archives in my brain right now. This is wild. Let me think here.
Ted?
Who?
He said Ted. He said Ted. It started from Ted.
Since Ted Williams, there's been...
Since. Okay. Oh, yeah. He's a
dog. He hit 400.
He's the untouchable. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Mike Schmidt?
No, Mike Schmidt.
I'm trying to think of who else is. None of these young boys have done it, right? There's no young boys.
I feel like it's legendary guys.
The most recent time it's happened is 2009.
I was going to say
someone hitting over 365.
Rice Harper.
Someone hitting over 365 in 2009, John.
9.
Yeah,
I feel like it's like Craig Biggio type of guy.
Not Craig Biggio. Craig Biggio played catcher for some of his career. This guy's a catcher who did it in 2009. Lost to the Yankees in the playoffs a lot.
Posey?
No.
That's a decent guess. Honestly, I know that's a great guess, actually. But
catcher from 2009. That's a good guess.
Yeah. That's why I was like, okay, that's a good shout, Jermaine.
Lost to the Yankees in the American League playoffs. So he's American Leaguer catcher.
Might be out on this.
American League catcher, like not Veritek on Boston. I don't think it was Boston. It's too.
He was a high school quarterback, All-American. Also.
Damn, he must have had a hose throwing people out at second.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why he was a catcher, because he had an arm.
Damn. So all right,
this is gonna give it away, but Minnesota Twins.
Joe Mauer.
Yes, Joe Mauer.
Okay, Joe's nice.
Amazing.
He hit 400. Oh no,
no. These guys hit
365. He had 366. Yeah. So this guy did it twice. He played for the Rockies and the Expos in his heyday, 97 and 99.
Larry Walker.
Correct. A former Red Sox and Yankee did it twice.
Babe?
No, this is post Ted Williams. So this happened in the 85 and 88.
He was a Yankee and a Red Sox?
Yeah.
Yankee and a Red Sox. Huh?
Matsui?
No, 85 and 88. No, 1985 and 1988.
He did play for both, right? Am I bugging?
Oh. They were.
I don't know if Matsui played for both.
No.
Johnny Damon did.
I don't think that's at 85 and 88. Johnny Damon, I don't think was alive yet. Maybe he was alive, but young.
Yeah. Infielder.
I don't know if I got that one. Wade Boggs?
Wade Boggs, correct.
Wow.
1994 was the NL MVP, but now this team plays in the AL that he was on at the time.
Oh, so
that's
it's
a good hint.
But who's the player though?
Astros, 1994 MVP. You got the Astros right.
1994.
You already tried Biggio, and you know that's wrong.
Bagwell? Wow, really?
Yeah, Jeff Bagwell.
That guy was a cheater home run guy. You're telling me he batted over 365 for a season?
He had 368 in 1994, AL MVP.
Cheater.
Speaking of cheater home run guys, that's the next guy, 370 in 2002. Yeah, Barry Bonds.
Wow. He hit over 365 per season.
Dude,
He had 370 in 2002.
Dude, Bonds is one of the best hitters of all time.
How many home runs that year?
2002, I think, was the year he had like 49 because they just like walked him every time.
370 and 49 home. Oh my god.
Yeah. This next guy's nickname is the Big Cat.
I don't know baseball.
Played on the Rockies and the Braves. He hit 370 in 93.
Todd Helton. I don't know.
No, but Todd Helton's right in 2000.
That's another.
Yeah, he had 372 in 2000.
Here you go, Zach. You're getting us through this.
Andre Scalarago was the Big Cat. I'm just
Wow.
Never got
Brave too.
I don't know who that is.
All right, former Red Sox shortstop.
Nomar.
Yeah, no more. In
Yeah.
2000, 372.
I was going to
Nomar
say his
was
name
nice.
earlier. I'll be clear. Like, I also was going to say Manny. Is Manny up there?
No, the last you have one more left, and it's 1980. He hit 390 for the Kansas City Royals.
For the Royals?
Yeah, he has a famous moment with pine tar involved. Against the Yankees, he hit a home run, and they took it away because the ump said he had too much pine tar on his bat. Third baseman, Kansas City Royals.
I don't know why it's slipping. I
Hall
should
of
know.
Famer.
Yeah. Killing me.
All-time clip was when they took away his home run. He runs out.
Oh,
So
no, and the manager comes out. I remember the whole thing. This is the only one we're not going to get, Maine. This is it. I've been carrying us. I need you for one here.
Galarraga. To be fair, Galarraga you didn't get either.
I didn't get Galarraga either. That's true.
Yeah.
You snap decision that. If you said Braves, I might have got that.
I said Braves and Rockies already. Roll the tape.
Rockies is what really caught me there because I was like sitting on Rockies after saying Todd Helton and you told me I was correct.
I mean,
now
he's one of the. You could make an argument like the greatest third baseman of all time. Like this guy on the Kansas City Royals. Won a World Series with them. He has two. He has two first names.
Yeah.
He has two first names.
I'm gonna cheat.
His initials are GB.
George Brett. Oh man.
Yes,
oh
George
man.
Brett.
Oh man.
George Brett hit 390 in 1980. All right, we'll go over these.
Go the questions first. Good shit, John.
All right.
Good job,
Who is
Jermaine.
the
Got some names there.
best kick returner not named Devin Hester in NFL history? We have D'Angelo Hall and Cordarrelle Patterson.
Dante Hall. D'Angelo
No,
Hall.
he said D'Angelo Hall.
No, Maine said Dante Hall.
Dante.
D'Angelo Hall.
You said we'll run the tape. I think you said D'Angelo, but you might have meant
Dante.
He
My
said
bad.
Dante. He said Dante.
because I was like two Falcons because you said Cordarrelle Patterson. But if you meant Dante Hall, fair enough. That's who I was thinking. Obviously, Desmond Howard is a shout, a little older. Billy White, Hughes Johnson, Josh Cribbs.
Cribbs,
Jacoby Jones.
Cribbs.
Jacoby Jones in the Super Bowl, big ones.
True, yeah, that's definitely some big ones. But I like both your guys' answers. Cordarrelle Patterson, I wasn't expecting, but I bet if you looked into it, he definitely has the numbers.
He's up there.
Yeah, I feel like he was like Mr. Consistent, always 30
guy.
yards in on the returns. Yeah.
And
Latter
favorite
years,
American,
too.
Yeah.
favorite American Idol winner of all time. We got the season 1 and season 2 winners. Fucking Kelly Clarkson and Ruben Studdard. Can't really hate on that. Built the franchise. Built the
Sorry
franchise.
for 2004. Come on, man.
Dude, I was just about to. I was gonna sing it. I'm sorry for 2004, and I ain't gonna mess up no more.
That's the jam, son.
This is the content that people need. This is what they need out there.
And Kelly Clarkson, obviously a legend. Shout out to Jennifer Hudson. Well, they didn't win. There's a lot of
Hudson's a great answer. Great answer.
Jennifer Hudson, Fantasia, Clay Aiken, Bo Bice on the low, Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, Carrie Underwood. I think she sings the Monday Night song, right?
No, she's a Sunday night. I've been waiting all the April.
Yeah, she's good. She might take the cake, actually. Maybe I don't know. Her and Kelly are a really good duo.
So she's judging right now. She's on like the new season as a judge, and my mom calls me. She's like, "Oh my God, Kelly's just the best. I like her so much." Blah, blah, blah. So apparently she's still crushing it. Walk-off home run or overtime goal in hockey, more exciting to see live. I mean, the walk-off home run is just the likelihood of it is less, like a home run versus a goal, because I'm not saying any walk-off hit, like a walk-off single or sacrifice fly, like a home run is fucking dope. Yeah, but then again, hockey's more exciting live in general. Yeah. You're more tense, like waiting for that goal to happen.
Bang, bang. A game-winning goal is like bang, bang. Sometimes you even miss it, and it's just like you're celebrating. When you hit a home run, it's like the ball could be carrying.
That's what I'm saying. The whole
anticipation of the ball in the air.
Yes, it's crazy, and then the stadium goes crazy. You're hugging the people.
First round in the bases, and then they celebrate at home. It's a whole to-do.
The stadium erupts. It's great.
I do think that like the goal in hockey and overtime, like you're waiting for either your team or the other team to score. So it's almost like that ball, almost that ball in the air feeling you're having like the whole time. Like as the puck goes back and forth, you're like, once someone scores, it's over. Like like it's happening, it's impending.
Bro, the one game that we went to in San Jose, the Rangers lost on a game-losing goal in overtime, and it was just like, boom, it was over in a split second. All of a sudden, boom, they scored, we lost, and it was just like, all right, let's just leave. Like, okay.
Yeah. No, that's the case in both of these situations, Zach.
But like sometimes I just feel like, I don't know,
Nah, but I feel you. But,
hockey versus like the whole thing, it's like,
and to be fair, in hockey I guess there is the third outcome of it could go to a shootout, and like it could get there, so unless it's the playoffs or whatever, I think that's the rule. What setting are you more likely to make a fool of yourself, dancing, wedding, or concert? I agree with you guys. The wedding, fucking, I've made a fool of myself at many a weddings, dancing, and I will never stop. It is all about confidence.
Video. Whose wedding was that? Joey's?
Oh yeah, Joey's wedding, doing the worm.
Eddie's wedding for sure.
Eddie's wedding, I think I picked the girl up and spun her around.
Yeah,
fucking.
Slow dance.
She wanted it, to be fair. It wasn't like it wasn't an unwanted dance. She enjoyed it. She was like, "That was so sexy" or something like that. She said to me on the low. But I don't care. At a wedding, I feel like all of the rules are out the window.
I was slow dancing with this broad at Eddie's wedding.
She kept grabbing me from the table. Zach, I was sitting down.
She ended up being outside of her mind, but that's neither here nor there,
Yeah, right? Those are the types of girls I generally attract out of their mind. Yep, crazy, stupid love. And then the next one I got here is more impressive single season achievement, 50, 40, 90 in the NBA or MLB Triple Crown. Yeah, I'm on main side of this. I think I think one of them is just shooting at the end of the day, even though it's different types of shooting.
Yeah.
And the Triple Crown requires like batting average and power and run driving in,
So my thing about, I feel like Pitchford could go 50, 40, 90. You know what I mean? Like Dante DiVincenzo could go 50, 40, 90.
They don't.
You know what I mean?
You're like Peyton Pritchard, like Pitchfork or something like that.
Peyton Pritchard, whatever his name is. He's from Boston. Fuck him. I don't give a damn what his name is. Whatever his name is. He's a fucking rat.
Fake ass Eminem ass motherfucker.
His ankles. Hope he stubs his toe tonight.
Yeah, what he said. Yeah.
But I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, you can get like a 6-man or like most improved player that can go 50, 40,
How many people in the history of basketball have done 50, 40, 90?
If you get a Triple Crown in the MLB, you're literally like, it's one of the best players. It's like, it doesn't happen that like, you know what I mean? Like some bum just, I'm just going to get hot tonight. Like, no.
Yeah. It requires an accumulation of stats too, where like you need to hit a lot of home runs and get a lot of RBIs and have a good average. Where percentage shooting is like you could maybe have less free throws or less threes or less
for a season and just have a good season. It's like,
I think it was Hauser this year who didn't miss a free throw, and they were like bringing it up, like, oh, this guy played this many games and didn't miss a free throw. And then, like, I looked into it, and he shot, like, 18 or something like that all year. It's like, all right, you went 18 for 18.
Yeah.
You guys ready for the devil's advocate argument? 14 guys in the history of basketball, and I'll read you the names, have done the 50, 40, 90. Okay.
Curry.
All right. Yeah, you guys want to name them? How about that? You should be able to name all of them, to be clear, because there's no guys that you just
Curry,
named. By the way, these pedestrian players, none of those names are involved on this list. For those,
Because it's got to be a minimum of so many shots, probably, for it to count.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm just looking at a whole season. Like I don't know. I don't know. It's literally Wikipedia 50, 40, 90 club. It literally says it.
So I'm gonna go real quick. Steve Nash.
Yep.
Curry did it.
So I'll tell. Wait. When you say a name, sometimes they're going to be duplicates. So of that 14, Steve Nash did it 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
4 times. Okay. Curry did it once or twice.
Curry did it once. That's 5.
Nowitzki.
I think he did it multiple times. Hold on.
Times.
1.
And then I'm gonna probably
just 1. That's 6.
Give me Kevin Durant.
Names.
Give me Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that's 7. He did it twice. That's 8 as well.
Cool.
Give me oh man, I'm trying to think if there's any old heads that I would be like.
A couple. Not old, but old.
All right, give me John Stockton.
I was gonna say Stockton.
Good name, but no.
No.
You might not have enough 3-point attempts. Give me Larry Bird.
Now we're talking.
Bird's
That's 2 more. That's 10. He's the oldest player.
Okay, that helps. Give me Reggie Miller.
Nice. That's 1. That's 11.
Reggie, I was gonna say Reggie. That's a good damn.
So you're missing 1 name. You're missing 2 names. You're missing 3 names.
Shooter.
One of these names you will not get. If you get this name, I'll.
Did Steve Kerr do it?
Buy you lunch. What?
Did Steve Kerr do it?
It's a great guess. That type of player, kinda better than him, but that type of player from that era, not him.
Mark Price.
Great. Perfect, John. You read my mind. You knew exactly where I was going. That's another one. Perfect.
All right.
Then there's 2 left now.
2 left.
Both
Post
are
Larry
semi-recent players. Yeah.
Post Larry Bird.
Recent players.
Dan Marley.
What?
Both still play. Sorry.
Yeah.
Both still playing.
Yeah.
Chris Paul.
Nope.
Damn. I don't know. This is tough.
I
James.
feel like
No way. James Harden shot 50% from the field.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of these guys are not efficient enough. Booker's not efficient enough. James Harden's not efficient enough. Well, Dame.
Nah. 50% from the field is the hard one, especially currently still playing.
That's what I'm saying. This is like 14 guys. 14 guys have done it, and this is mostly repeats. If we're actually breaking down the people, it's like 8 guys actually.
7 or 8 guys. Yeah, I was gonna say
it's nuts, dude. That's why I definitely agree that Triple Crown is probably a harder. But I'm just making a conversation here because that shit's great.
No. They're both. I asked the question for a reason. I know.
I don't want to play the question here. Like, let's be clear.
No. I just think if you looked up Triple Crown winners, like
I'll give you the last 2 guys. So here we go. One of the names.
No, give me a team. Give me a team.
Oh, I said his name. I don't know if you heard it, but anyway, Bucks.
Michael Redd.
He was on the Bucks, not Giannis. No, he was on.
Ray Allen.
No. More recent.
Not Ray Allen. Not Michael Redd. Oh, you said they were still on the team.
When he was on that team, but he might have been on a different team that year. Let's see. On the Indiana Pacers the year that he did it. He's been on the Bucks before. He's been on different teams. He's a point guard. He's been on different
TJ McConnell?
No.
I don't know. Fucking Travis Best? I don't know. Danny Granger?
I'll say his name. I'm telling you, it's an impossible name. Malcolm Brogdon.
Oh, that's fair enough.
All right, and the last one, I don't know if you guys said his name, but I feel like you did. The last one's an all-star, and a recent, he got hurt this year. He's an incredible player. I don't know if you guys said his name, but just repeat it if you think about a guy that maybe
someone who got hurt this year.
Yeah, and out for the year.
For the year. I don't know. I don't
Kyrie.
think I said Kyrie Irving. Wow.
Yeah, he was the last one.
Good call, Jermaine.
Wow.
So it's Durant, Kyrie, Malcolm Brogdon, Steph Curry, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, Reggie Miller, Mark Price, and Larry Bird are the only guys ever to do 50, 40, 90.
Kyrie's on there. That's tough, dude.
Malcolm Brogdon, I'd be interested to see how many shot attempts he put up that year.
That's how he got his bag, bro.
Well, I know he won Rookie of the Year. I like Malcolm Brogdon.
3-point attempts, he had 244.
That's a lot. But what about free throws?
Free throws, 152.
Yeah, so you probably just hit.
He's the lowest on this list. He's the only guy in the hundreds on free throws.
Yeah,
that's not a lot of free throws.
93%.
I want the
That's less than 2 free throws a game.
He's pushing the line.
Cap is probably like 100 or 150 free throws.
That's the point here, by the way. But he's pushing the line. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's still. I think it's valid. To be fair.
I mean, it's still tough. Yeah, it's
Great
still
question, John.
All right, and then, if you could have free food from any chain restaurant for the rest of your life, what would it be? Let me call a timeout. So my property management company has a sign. I guess one of the apartments is still open in my building, and people walk by and hit it. And I'm at a point now where I'm like, am I going to be like, I'm old now that I'm going to go out there and be like, hey, I was your age once, but it bothers my dog when you hit the sign. Can you please not do that? It's like, or leave a note. I'm like, oh my gosh, shit is crazy.
What you should do is you should put some kind of lacquer. You should put some kind of lacquer on the fucking sign or some kind of thing. They hit it.
Put tax on that shit.
Yeah.
Tax on it. They fucking smack it in bloody ass hand.
Exactly. And then they won't do it. That's it.
Yeah, no,
take matters into your own hands. Don't even involve anyone. Just go right out there, walk away. Perfect.
No, but it's because I want to. It's not a threat. It's a request. Please don't hit it.
Is that why you said that?
What? Yeah, they just did it right now. That's as I was when I fumbled that question as I was reading it. It's because someone smacked the sign. Maya, she's passed out. I gave her a fat bone earlier, but usually if she's like,
that's crazy. Holy shit, that was fucking.
What? Putting tax on it?
No, he said the fat bone. He's like, I gave her a fat bone.
yeah, fucked my dog. No, I gave her a dog a bone, dude. Get your mind out of the gutter. I gave my dog a bone, dude. That's fucking what you. It's a very common thing.
Because you said her name, the way you said her name is just the way you said
it. It's like a dog with a bone. It's a fucking very common. Dogs and bones go together. You fucking nasty fuck. All right, but Zach said McDonald's. Maine said Bonefish. I'm definitely taking a chain that has not a fast food chain. I'd rather have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bonefish, I can get a fillet, my G. What you mean? I
go Chipotle. Maybe I'll change my answer to Chipotle.
See, Chipotle stood out to me because Chipotle, it's not quite McDonald's. It's not quite Bonefish. It's in the middle, but I could eat Chipotle. I think almost every day and be happy.
All right, I'm gonna go with the audible. Chipotle.
I like Chipotle. I get Chipotle every payday. I get it all other times.
Every payday, I love that.
Every payday after the gym, I get Chipotle. That's my thing.
Model of consistency. Chipotle.
Yeah, I am a big routine guy.
I work for Bonefish right now. I worked for them back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what to get on that menu too. That's a different thing. You have inside information.
Cod Imperial. You mean tell me I can have Cod Imperial, Bang Bang Shrimp?
Yeah, no, you're right. There is a lot of good food.
Life for free. Oh, if anyone who hasn't had it, go get a Fontina pork chop from Bonefish Grill.
Are they still part of Are they still part of Darden? Are they still in the Darden food group?
I think no, it's Blooming Brands.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Darden owns anything. I think Darden's gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they were Darden.
But they were Blooming Brands.
Yard House. Yeah. Now they're Blooming Brands.
Blooming
I
Brands.
don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. You talking about the mother company of this?
I thought you knew stocks, bro. I thought you knew stocks, cuz.
I do, but I don't know that. I didn't know that there was the mother company of those companies had there was some kind of alternative. I didn't know any of this.
Lemmings.
Basically, all chains are owned by parent companies.
Yeah, of course.
It's something that's not here.
That I know.
Owned by a bunch of all their stuff's down in Florida and down south. I've never seen a Fleming's up here. I don't even know if there's a Fleming's anywhere near close.
You need Buc-ee's, bro.
I like Chipotle though. I could get fucking a Chipotle bowl every day.
Same.
Chipotle isn't that good though. I'm not. I can't. You can't in front of me.
The Chipotle bowl. I like.
Quick shout out. What's your bowl? Go ahead. What's your bowl?
Oh, okay. I do double chicken, fucking double rice, black beans and pinto beans. I do the spiciest salsa,
Yup.
sour cream, cheese. And if I'm fucking feeling like I want to be healthier, I'll throw some lettuce in there. But usually I'll just fucking let it
All
rock.
right, wait.
Go ahead,
Let me
Zach.
show you how it's done.
I'm gonna go last. Then good.
All right, white rice, half chicken, half
You
steak.
gotta go double rice always. You
White-
can't.
Yeah. I usually ask for as much as you can give me as humanly possible. Is the phrase I always say to them when we start. I'm like, listen.
Oh, I'm online. I order on the app.
No, I don't order on the app. I'm in person, and I literally say, all right, so I know that you have a rule, but I need you to give me as much as you possibly can give me for one order, please. So like I try to talk them up because these
Zach's
people
that motherfucker with the phone
these
out.
people are
He's
fucking
recording
nuts.
them.
Chipotle employees
That's
are not.
recording them on the phone, trying to get extra shit.
No,
bro.
I'm not fucking paying.
I need
I'm not paying. I'm
Oh,
talking.
they
I'm not. No, man. You're fucking. All right. Anyway, not getting into it. I'm not paying. I'm talking these humans up
Oh my god, he's like, can I have as much rice as you can give me?
as much as possible.
As much as
I need
possible.
you to give me
The eye contact is
for
crazy.
one order. For one order. One order. Do not get it confused. I want you not to get charged double order here.
Yo, this guy is
I'm
nuts.
being so serious. I've had this conversation. Listen,
I'm laughing
yeah,
at
they
me.
say, what do you want? Say, this is my order. I'm serious right now. You ask Christy. This is real shit. I'll say,
Hey, you
I
need to
have white
make like
rice,
an Instagram
half
video
chicken,
of
half
you
steak.
like
If you
impersonating.
want,
those-
wait. Hey, I gotta give that order.
I'm
just
sorry,
like,
I'm
you
sorry, but May needs to make a video because that was so funny. Oh, that was so funny.
So wait.
Oh.
So no beans.
No
They
beans.
say, do you want fajita? And I go, as much as you can possibly give me. Again, I say it then again. We reaffirm fajita. And then I get the hot sauce, like John said, that was perfectly said. No sour cream, cheese, guac, lettuce. We're
There
home.
it is.
We're
Thank you.
home.
All right, here we go. Ready? You gotta go half shredded pork, half shredded beef,
Okay.
white
As
rice,
much as humanly possible.
pinto beans. Pause. Kind of crazy. Pinto beans. What am I doing? I'm going lettuce, mild and hot. Hit it up.
Okay.
Mild and hot. Mild, I want the chunk of tomatoes, and then the hot gives me the spice. And then I'm going lettuce, guac, corn salsa.
All right, fair enough. You're like 3 different sauces. You're a little all over the place. Zach, they hate you. For the record, they hate you. They can't stand you. You walk into the fucking Chipotle and they're like, this motherfucker again. As much as humanly possible.
Oh, Zach.
You-
Zach.
Yeah, Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to
they
rotate.
hate you.
Zach
I
walks
rotate
in,
your
my
ass.
hats. I rotate my hats and Chipotles always.
Zach's
Come on.
in there
Yeah,
like this.
Hats
Yeah.
and Chipotles, you gotta rotate if you're gonna act like that in public. You
Nah,
gotta.
Zach's in there with the phone, and his hat down. Fucking, Zach's still wearing a mask like it's COVID 2020, so no one knows who he is. I ordered for the record though. You're leaving money on the table if you're not ordering on the app. Fucking, I order on the app. I go get the rewards points,
Yeah, you gotta get.
and I get a free meal every once a month. I get a free meal. Out of
True.
it.
Much as
I do the double, so I have to pay for the double, but it's like a
Yeah,
free
you get
entree.
as much as humanly possible.
Dude.
much as humanly possible. For one day.
However much you can give me so that your boss isn't.
I don't want to. Yeah, you don't even get paid extra to not give me the food. Just give me the food.
This guy Zach's a rat.
These pieces of shit, think they're fucking gonna harbor all this food that comes in for free from $1 billion
As
organization.
much as humanly possible. as much as humanly possible, ma'am.
He's got like his fake Amazon shades on.
Oh my god, that's too fucking funny. I'm gonna finish the show with the hat. Oh my god, that was great. That dude, Maine with the phone had me
With the phone
fucking
going like
crying, dude.
humanly
That
possible.
was, you need to make an Instagram video, whether it's on mainstream fishing or just you just being like dudes at Chipotle when they were claiming that bringing your phone out gave you more food and just be
Right?
to do that. That would be perfect. Oh my god, so fucking funny. All right, and then we did 5 leg kicks from a professional fighter or 1 jab to the nose, full strength.
Your face ever.
Dude, you're getting a broken nose for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to touch your face ever. Like, look, I'm not a bitch.
I got my appendix removed. I don't want to get hit shots to the chest. That's gonna
I
hurt.
could like man up and like take 5
A leg kick to the leg, you won't walk for probably like 2 or 3 weeks. But I don't think it's gonna actually break your leg or like tear your ACL. I think you're just gonna have the deepest
Maine's
bruising.
knee is made of paper.
It is.
It's done.
It is. I'm the way I'm sitting. I could show my spar.
But you
right
could
now.
choose. You could choose the other leg, or you could choose both
That's
legs.
what I'm saying,
5 legs.
like, and at the end of the day, like
Dude, and that I guess it depends also on like the weight of the fighter. Like if it's like a heavyweight jabbing you in the nose,
John Jones.
I'm not.
Yeah. But then again, if it's a heavyweight kicking your leg, you might actually
John
break
Jones
your
kicks you, you're fucking dead. 5 kicks, you're done.
Oh,
take a
yeah.
kicks to the leg.
5 kicks from John Jones, or 5 kick, or
I could
1
eat-
punch from John Jones, 1 jab from John
I'm
Jones. Tell me
taking
right
the
now.
kicks.
What?
I
Yeah,
don't,
I don't know.
dude. What are you talking about? John
His
Jones
face is the moneymaker, bro. I don't know. Your nose
John
is
Jones
fucking
kicks you
out.
destroyed.
If I get punched in
your
the face
spleen.
by John Jones, I'm never the same again. Never.
Yeah, nah, you're never. You won't. You're gonna have sleep passage issues, dude.
I'm
Fucking-
done. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't know. The nose is brutal.
Like a month, I'm gonna be like, damn, that bruise finally went away. God damn that shit.
Zach's like, no, it's gonna be like bong, dude. It's not gonna be like. It's gonna be like dude, what do you mean? He's like, dude, it's gonna. Your nose is exploding. Both of your eyes are black, and you're fucking. You might need surgery on your
And you're
nose.
going to
Yeah, normally.
I already have a deviated septum. This thing is fucked up as is.
This is like your hands behind your back, like you're not defending. You just get jabbed in the nose, full strength. You're done,
Bro,
dude.
John Jones has tree trunks. He'll kick you straight to the fucking moon.
No, he doesn't have tree trunks. He makes weight when he was at 205 because his legs are mad skinny. Either way, it would suck.
Tree trunks.
Yeah, but your leg can get fucked up. And,
I like to
you
think
can
that I
still like
could, like,
sit at a desk and work. Like,
I feel like the first 2 would be like, oh my god. You know, like I could
Get used to it. You're saying like a whipping?
No, like the
I'm-
first
no,
2
your
like,
leg
Way,
is-
dude. He kicks you twice. You're fucking screaming in pain.
no,
He's the
you're,
third time
yeah.
you're on the
There
floor.
is no like. Oh, it's always.
yeah, no, but I'm just I don't know. I'm
You're
taking
in
the leg.
so much pain if he kicks you. There's
No,
no something to that.
Zach being like, oh, it's like, dude, it's like, bang, bro, your
Yeah,
fucking
he's
nose
fucking-
is destroyed. You're done, dude. But either way, there's no real right answer.
To put the end of this, I feel as though if I let one of you guys clean clock me in the nose, just
Oh.
hands down, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's way. If it's just a regular person and not a fighter, then yeah, it's no question.
I don't
Rather
want to
take the leg kicks.
like
No question.
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Jones,
take the
question.
leg kicks.
Yeah, no. When it's a fighter who like knows how to leg kick, it's a lot
He's
different.
gonna punch your ass. Yeah, you're fucked, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to take a jab from fucking the next person who walked by my house who hit my sign.
Yeah,
That I-
yeah.
Went out there and told them to stop doing
I
it.
don't
and
really
they got-
agree, but
I would be
versus like
super
5 of
upset
something
about it,
versus 1 of
obviously.
something. I'm just saying both are gonna suck. So 5 versus 1, like it's just 1. So I'm just like,
Yeah,
all
but
right,
it's one for the fucking facha, bro.
I know.
Yeah,
man. By that third kick though, you're gonna be riling, and there's 2 more coming.
yeah,
Fine.
true.
I mean,
Yeah, there could be 5 kicks over 6 months. It would still be terrible. Like,
It's like come outside for your daily for your monthly
Yeah.
kick.
yeah, your kick. Yeah, your monthly kick is up. Yeah.
I'll
All
take
right,
that.
then-
I'll take the
then we
one.
had best war movie of all time.
There's some good ones. Black Hawk Down is another shout. That was a cool movie.
Yeah, Black Hawk Down. What's on?
Saving Private
Harbor.
Ryan is the chalk answer, I think.
Pearl
300.
Harbor.
I said
Pearl
300.
Harbor.
Pearl Harbor was good. 300.
Oh, I like that main set
300 is a
300.
great answer.
Yeah, because a lot of times you think World War II, World War One.
300
war.
they lost
Yeah.
too. So I
Excellent
think that was
answer.
like that was kind of
No,
like
300 in the theaters was like probably
Oh,
one of my
One
favorite
of one.
movies.
One of one too. Like you really can't do
Yeah.
that kind of a movie. Yeah.
300 was
And
like,
like-
I wanted to go with them.
And it launched careers. Everyone in that movie was a nobody, and then like fucking Michael
Gerard, yeah.
Fassbender and Gerard Butler are 2 of like the biggest actors in the world now. You know,
Yeah.
like, and there's other guys who are less known but still
Opening
big
scene
actors.
is like, yo, come on. Like I hate
Yeah,
to be
no,
that guy.
that
but
movie that was
Yes.
a great call, man.
Is Sparta.
It's one of
Yeah.
one. It's not like
Yeah,
it's not with guns.
You're gonna hurt the messenger? He's like, yeah, you threatened my
I
fucking wife.
stood up in the movie
Yeah.
theater and was like, what?
trying to think of war movies.
In the movie theater is so good. So good.
I got the at 300. I was like,
War movies. The Last Samurai was a great movie.
No, it wasn't. It's fucking a white samurai.
Nah, it's a great movie.
Get out of here, dude.
I like Tom Cruise. Give me some Tom Cruise a little every now and then.
No, Tom Cruise is great, but The Last Samurai being in mention of the
I'm
best
just thinking
war
war
movies.
movies. I'm thinking The Patriot. I'm just thinking of
What's the one from back in the day? Oh, fucking Full Metal Jacket is a fucking
good shout.
unbelievable movie.
Yeah,
Full Metal Jacket
good one.
is so good. One of my favorite
shows
like
like Band of Brothers in the Pacific are coming to my brain too much, and it's annoying me because we just got on World War II, and obviously those shows, yeah.
just like a little more niche of like more recent, like All Quiet on the Western Front is unbelievable. Like German soldiers going into World War One, and they were like all excited and happy to get there, and then it's like trench warfare.
What you're going to,
and it shows that they're like aging, and like their faces, like from where they were all laughing and excited to go to like they're there, and now their faces look like they've been through hell and back.
Yeah.
And then I saw in theaters, what was the one where it was like Auschwitz?
Is that Schindler's?
No, it was A24. It came out in theaters like last year. It was God. You guys talk real quick. I have to look it up.
A24 is awesome. They're amazing.
That I think is actually kind of crazy, just on the war topic. When you think about it, isn't it crazy that they used to just line up?
Yeah, like
It's
line
just
up versus line up when there's especially when they still had muskets and still had guns. Like
like they would just line up.
That's because there used to be a time when it comes to war, I feel like well more than ever now, where you had to announce. There was an announcement that came with going to war.
There were drums.
There were drums. There was a formality to going to war. It wasn't just some sneak attack. Like I'm not in real real army clothing, like what people do in the Middle East or
the rules of engagement.
The rules of engagement. That stuff is blurred nowadays. The blur the lines that and now more than ever. That's what it used to be. There used to be no blurred lines. There was rules of engagement. There was rules for war. The art of war.
Crazy.
No. So the movie I'm thinking about is called The Zone of Interest.
And I never saw that, but I heard it's good.
Oh my god, it's good, but it's also it's like very dark. It's like basically a Nazi war commander living like in the town of Auschwitz, and it's basically like his family's life, but you hear like the screams and cries of the internment camps like in the background throughout the entire movie. It's like white noise, like people getting murdered and killed on the like. He's like basically he gets news that he like has to move, and the wife like complains, like her family's like playing and stuff like that, and like we have to move, and you hear the Jews like screaming and crying in the internment camps, and she's like pissed they have to. It's like a family dynamic within that. It's crazy.
It's actually
like crazy. It's worth seeing, but it's like you have to almost prepare yourself to watch.
Those types of shows and movies are all very difficult for sure.
Yeah, but a really good like a film, if you will. Like some things are movies or some things are films. Like put your phone away, like lock in, like
watch.
I was when you just said that,
looks out the window at one point.
Yeah,
and he's like, won't do that again, and then closes the window. Like when he like sees the atrocities going on, like crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I need all that. I was thinking of Jarhead, American Sniper. Those are a couple that just came to my head.
Sniper too.
What's the one with
Jessica Chastain where they go to the private where they get Osama bin Laden, wherever that movie was?
Oh man, that's Zero Dark 30. No,
Dark 30. That's another that I think was
Jarhead's Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Jarhead's Jake Gyllenhaal. Also the one Hurt Locker with Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner. Yeah.
That was a cool. Those are the Iraq ones. Some of those movies are sick. Like the Iraq, what those guys had to do, like crazy war, crazy terrain. Yeah.
And then I guess the last one was the Marry, fuck, kill, but we all kind of agree on that one. We're gonna bring home the Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta go in depth on that.
That was a tough quiz, John. I'll be clear as we wrap it up here. But that quiz,
I was inspired by Judge's season so far. Maybe I,
Judge is killing it for your team, huh?
Oh yeah, he's hitting 430. I mean, he's the beast, absolute monster.
Well, we'll be back next week. What happened?
I said we'll see what the Knicks do.
We'll see.
Great
what the Knicks
episode.
do.
Thanks for coming on, Jermaine.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming out, bro. We'll see what they do. Monday's the first game. Shouts to the loyalists that stood by this team. And, for all the haters of Mikal Bridges and Tibbs and all that.
Real quick, before we get out of here, all the Jalen Brunson hate needs to stop.
The flopping shit? No, that's got to die.
Cade Cunningham's the best player in this series. Shut up. Everybody shut up with that Jalen Brunson stuff. All right? Captain Clutch, he's the best fourth quarter player. He's the best player with the ball coming down in the end when it's showtime and when it matters most and when you need him most. So all that other stuff, shut up.
Don't go get Giannis. Don't go get another superstar. Just build around Jalen.
Build around him.
Be the guy.
We need another shooter and we need probably another big.
Maybe Dante DiVincenzo will be available.
Bring DiVincenzo back. I would love that. And then, go get some guys.
The season ain't over yet, boys. Don't talk about who you need to bring back. Even if we win the chip, bring me.
Nothing would make me happier than to go against Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo in the NBA Finals against Minnesota versus the Knicks. Put it up on the board. I would love it.
That would be spicy.
Mitchell Robinson versus Gobert. Put it up. Towns versus his old team. Put it up, bro.
We win.
All right. Later, Skater.
See y'all next week. Hotz, Heads, Dreamers, Sixers. We love y'all.
Peace. And Maniacs.
Yes, sir.
Maniacs, too. And shout to Sovereignty for winning me $100 today.
Hey, Maggot.